What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Millennium Legends Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening, and today I have for you guys a Link Strike starter deck. It is finally here. It's finally our time to go ahead and review the starter deck. I know a lot of people have been posting about this. Some people have been happy about this whole format change. Some people have been upset, so we're going to go ahead and go through it, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. But the starter deck has everything you need to learn how to duel with your friends, including a ready-to-play deck, a beginner's guide to teach you the basis of dueling, including all new Link summoning. It's time to duel in the brand new era. Alright, cool. And then here we have the card list, of course. So let's go ahead, let's pop, shout out to that Duel Links right there. But let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Alright, so here's our deck. We'll go ahead and actually, I'll use this as the background for today. Our, there it is, Duel Guides mat. The new mat to dueling, right? Wish I had a weight or something to keep it down, but yep, there you go, and your two new extra zones. I think you guys are pretty familiar with most of this. This is the beginner's guide, so if you're new to dueling, I really recommend picking up one of these up. This is the new current format with some of the rule changes. You guys are definitely going to want to grab one of these. I think this is going to be essential to a lot of people, but this goes ahead and breaks everything down, getting to know the different cards, how to play the game, of course, frequently asked questions. That's cute. So then, I was going to say, does it? Yes. Talks about the game mat and everything, and now with the whole monster zone change that they got going on. Link monsters. You will not see this in additional, you won't see this in previous beginner's guides because this is brand new. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, oh, we got one of these ones. Oh, there we go. We got it. We got it. Sometimes it's a pain to get some of this plastic off. Alright, so I think what we'll first do is just go ahead and go through all the cards, and then we'll I'll try and do my best, I guess, to attempt to explain Link summoning. But Link Slayer, this is awesome. So, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards, and then target as many spell or traps on the field and destroy them. Really cool, though, to point out the foil on the stars and the, what's it called? Like the emblem up top, right? You know, whether it's Earth, Fire, or whatever. So that's now foil on some of these cards. Cyburst, got to point that one out. Just a new archetype. It's like Psychic or Worm. Remember when those came out? But, yep, Link Slayer, guys. Really, really good right there. And then we have Decode Talker, right? So, no, like, rank or anything there. What he's got instead are these arrow guys, and he has 3 arrows, and it corresponds to his Link being 3. Well, you can see he doesn't have defense points, right? So these guys can only be in attack mode, right? And then their effects kind of go off of, you know, some of them dictate, you know, their arrows and what they can do. But to summon this guy, you know, he's either got to be summoned, he needs 3 monsters to summon him, or like a Link 2 monster and then like a regular monster, but he needs 2 plus effect monsters. So at least 2 of the monsters used to summon this guy have to be effect monsters, right? He gains 500 attack points for each monster he points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, and this is a quick effect, you contribute one monster this card points to, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. And obviously you can't use your opponent's card because, you know, how he would point to your opponent's card, right? On the far side. So, can't use it for like that. But, yeah, so you do, you know, say you do summon him, and then the 2 cards that he would point to, or the up to 3 cards, that's how many attack points he would gain. It's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. We have Ram Clouder. You contribute 1 monster, then target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, GY. Special summon it. You can only use the effect of Ram Clouder once per turn. Then we have one of our other super rares, Honeybot. She requires 2 Cyberse monsters. Neither player can target monsters that, neither player can target monsters this card points to. With card effects, those monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And she's obviously a 2, and hers point to the sides. We have Link Spider. He only requires a normal monster. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your hand to your zone this card points to. So, obviously, you get this guy out, then you can special summon a normal monster right there. So, those are our foils. I want to say self-explanatory, but I mean, it's going to take some getting used to. So now we have Bitron, Draconet. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck in defense position. We have Galaxy Serpent, Mystery Shell Dragon, Beast King Barbaros, or Barbaros? I don't know. Cyber Dragon, Photon Thrasher, Ixarion Universe, Evil Swarm Mandragora, Marardian Captain, Sangan, Curry Bandit, Marshmallow, Card D, Raikou Lightsworn Hunter, Battle Fader, Swift Scarecrow, and then Effect Veiler. Not bad. So here we go. This is basically for these Link monsters. All Link monsters you control gain 300 attack. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster in the graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, send all monsters in the extra monster zone to the graveyard. Monster Reincarnation, Dark Hole, MST, Book of Moon, Forbidden Lance, United We Stand, Pot of Duality, Burden of the Mighty, Supply Squad, and then Terraforming. And for our trap lineup, we have Jar of Avarice, Call of the Haunted, Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, Ring of Destruction, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Fiendish Chain, and then Dark Bribe as a whole. This is a really damn good starter deck, without doubt. It's going to take some of us, you know, some time to get used to the new format, the new rules, but honestly, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami channel has got some really good stuff on there, explaining the whole Link summoning and what you can do and what you can't do, and some crazy stuff like that. But I was going to say I can use these guys sort of as an example, but the best way, I mean, like, the best way I can really talk about it is, like, you got to use your Link monsters in order to summon extra monsters. Like, that's the whole premise of this format change. So people can't just spam whether it's just XYZs, pendulums, bring out, you know, and you know, play, you know, 5 monsters, you know, in the first turn, 1 turn kill, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think it's a way to kind of slow the game down to a degree while keeping it kind of fast, but it also I think it's going to force people to strategize a lot more in terms of how these Link monsters point and do their stuff. So, you know, Decode Talker, for example, say I get him out, and I have, you know, 2 Cyberse monsters or, you know, whatever, and I go ahead and then I summon Honeybot. Well, because of that and the way their arrows point, I now have these 3 zones that I can use, right, to summon, you know, to XZ summon, to Synchro summon, to Fusion summon. So how you point an arrow around your Link monsters is going to determine how else you can use your extra deck monsters, and I think that's what everyone is going to want to do. I think that's going to be one of the key takeaways for this whole format change, without a doubt, dude. It's going to be, you know, what Link monsters can you get out and, you know, turn around, and how can you get extra fusion, you know, how can you get your XZs and your synchros out, like, because if I were to just put, you know, like Stardust Dragon up here, and my opponent on his next turn was able to take up this extra monster zone, then I'm just about screwed in terms of getting extra monsters out. The cool thing is when they go to the graveyard, you can then place them in your normal monster zone. You don't have to bring them back to the extra monster zone. Or say you extra monster zone your summon Decode Talker or whatever, and then say they like brain control him. So they would take control, but it would go to their monster zone. And then at the end of the turn, I would get him back, right? Or however, or change of heart, or you know what I mean. Same sort of deal there. So that's not a terrible thing. The pendulum's getting buffered to a degree. They got nerfed. Pendulums got really fucking nerfed. Instead of having their own zones, like, do I have? You guys know. You guys know. For the ones that don't, basically this was the whole. Yeah, the former pendulum format, right? Where it had its own zone, basically. So yeah, with that getting changed up, pendulums as a whole got nerfed quite a lot. So you can have your pendulums, you know, you can put your monsters in their pendulum zones, but then you can't also occupy them with like a trap or a spell. And then I believe if, you know, cards that target the spell and trap zone would affect those pendulum monsters because they are also in the spell and trap / pendulum zone. So that is interesting. That is an interesting change, but I hope this kind of explained Link's to a degree. What I plan on doing, so we have our Link Strike deck, right? I have 2 more, and what I really want to do is do a budget deck with all 3. So I'm going to throw some stuff around, test some stuff out, and then I will be back with a video, guys, telling you if you get 3 of these budget decks, and if you're balling on a budget, you know, but if you have 3 decks in general, what's the best situation you can make out of the 3? I'm going to definitely do that, guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. Be sure to check out the channel for some awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content, and we have a ton of other different videos as well, some gaming videos you guys are going to love, so be sure to check those out, guys, and I will talk to you next time when Millennium Legends opens.